Hello, this is Mike with SS Custom Fabrication, and today I'm going to try to make a quick informative video to help you install your SS Custom Fabrication radiator kit. This install is on a 2014 Honda Foreman. This kit also fits the 2014 Honda 420 Rancher. Now on the Rancher there will be a slight difference. You'll have a electronic control module that's mounted down on the radiator. You will have to reinstall that to the frame with some zip ties, and I do supply the zip ties for that in the kit. Now here's a already installed kit, and this is a kit I did for a close friend of mine. And please, I can do custom kits, but please don't ask for this one. It was a close friend and I kind of owed him a favor, and I would love to be able to make these, and sell them, but I can't because, that's copyrighted or trademarked by Honda, and I'm sure they wouldn't be real happy about it. So this is the one and only of these. So please don't ask for one. I can do about any kind of custom work you want, but just really don't like to do the copyrighted and trademark stuff. Like I said, as a friend, and I kind of owed him some favors, so I did this for his. Now to the tools that you'll need. Some of the tools you'll need for the install are a drill with an 1.5-inch hole saw. Electric impact is always handy to have. Some channel locks, a box cutter, flat blade screwdriver, a pair of cutters to trim your zip ties, a pair of pliers, a ratchet, a 12mm socket, a 10mm socket, a 7/16 socket, and a 1/2-inch socket, and a crescent wrench is always handy to have. Now as far as the hardware for this kit, this is what you'll receive with your kit, and it's about 42 inches of hose. Also a straight hose barb and a 90-degree hose barb with 4 hose clamps. A piece of clear tubing to reconnect your radiator overflow down to your coolant recovery bottle. As you can see, there's 2 spacers there with bolts and nuts and washers. Those are to attach the upper portion of the radiator into the side plates of the kit. 4 U-bolts with top plates to attach the kit down to the front rack. These 3 bolts here, those are used to reattach the coolant recovery bottle in a somewhat stock location, and those 2 brackets there are used also to reattach that bottle. You also get 10 zip ties with the kit. You can use those to put softeners on your hose and secure your hose, and like I said earlier, if you've got the 420, you'll need to reattach that control module with the zip ties. Now here's the kit. This is my standard design. Well, one of them. I have 2 now. I'll go ahead and show you the other. This is new. This will be standard. It's not custom. So you'll have a choice between the skull and bones or the Confederate flag. My kits come in bare steel, and the reason why is it's just so expensive to paint them and get them to you without scratching them up. I can sell them to you a lot cheaper without having to paint them, and almost every one I've sold to has been real happy. They didn't mind painting it themselves, and it gives you the option for colors you'd like, or custom paint, pinstripes, whatever you'd like to do. Now as you notice on this kit, there is a hole here and here, and the reason I'm showing you that is the fan cradle on this particular model is so wide that to keep the kit as small as possible, you'd have to cut those off if I didn't put that hole in there, and I really didn't want to cut them off, because then if you ever want to go back with mount your radiator back in a stock location, then you're able to with my kit, because you didn't have to cut the tabs off. Now you can cut them off if you don't like it sticking out the side, and I'll walk around here to where you can see it. it just slightly sticks out, not much. I could have made the kit wider, but you know that requires more metal and it would have been more expensive, so I opted for the hole to try to keep the price down and make sure all my metal works out, you know, to where I can get the most bang out of a sheet of metal. Now I'm going to show you on this bare kit a couple of things. These two holes in the bottom, that's where you remove the grommets out of your frame where your radiator was located, and you just want to reinstall those grommets in those two holes. And after you get those installed, you want to set your radiator in this kit, and you'll have to poke the tab through the hole here and kind of rotate it down. It fits really nicely. It shouldn't be any issues with that. Now when you get ready to put your spacers in, you know, you'll put the spacers, slide the bolt through the hole here. You're going to notice that when you install this, it's going to be kind of kicked up at an angle like that. That's completely normal. You'll just have to kind of fish them in there. When you tighten them up, it's going to pull down to where it's square and perpendicular with the rest of the kit. And what this does is it puts some force down and makes sure that the radiator is fully engaged in those grommets, keeps everything tight, and you know you won't have any issues with anything rattling around. Now the hole on the side, as you can see, it is a square hole. I do that so that you can use carriage bolts. You won't have to put a backup wrench on this or anything. Just a little easier to install, and I think it looks better with that carriage bolt on there. Now, I've discussed the coolant recovery bottle a little bit, and once again, here are the components for installing it, and I'm going to show you on the four-wheeler here. Hopefully you'll be able to see. There's the bottle reinstalled in a somewhat stock location, and to do this you'll want to use the longer bracket that's got the 90-degree bend in the bottom. And to do that, I hope you can see on this video, it's a little dark, but you want to remove this bolt here, and the reason why is it's going to interfere with you getting the nut on this bolt here. So just remove this bolt, install this bolt with the nut on the bottom, tighten it up, and then reinstall this bolt. After you reinstall, there won't be any clearance issues on the back side. Now up here on the upper portion, let's see, hopefully you can see this tab on the frame. This tab is where the radiator was originally bolted into the frame. You'll want to use this shorter bracket, and this is one of the original bolts that mounted the radiator in. It's 10mm head. So you'll reuse this bolt. Now when you put the bottle in, you'll just slip the bolts through the back side. You know, it's a square hole carriage bolt, so it'll be easy to tighten up. You won't need to hold any backup on it or anything. But when you tighten these two up, just don't over tighten them. Tighten them down snug, and then take them another quarter to a half a turn. You don't want to over tighten and bust this plastic, and then your bottle won't be mounted securely, so just don't over tighten those. Now move up to the top side here. You can see the coolant recovery bottle there. It is in a somewhat stock location. You still can access the lid if you need to. You really shouldn't need to, because now you can get to your radiator cap really easy to fill or check your fluids. But it still is being utilized as a catch can, so it's there in a somewhat stock location. Now, as you can see, this kit is completely installed and all the hoses are on. This cover right here, I could have drilled a hole in this cover, but like I said, this is a close friend of mine's and he didn't want to, and really I don't blame him. He can put this cover up and let everything run down through this hole, but you can drill a hole in that if you like. Now your fan wire, you could run it through the open hole, but I decided to run it over here and it's got plenty of length, and it reaches and works fine. When you get ready to put the kit on, after you get the radiator in the framework, the first thing you'll want to do is attach the lower radiator hose and go ahead and tighten that clamp, and use the full length of hose. And as you put it on, you want to feed that hose down through the hole that you drilled in the plastic there. And I'm going to try to show you that hole. Hopefully you can see it right back there where the hole was drilled. Just right in that corner where the two bars intersect. And just feed the hose down through there and set the kit on. Once you set it on there, then you can reach under here and grab that full length of hose and cut it off to the exact length you need. That way you don't have any waste. Go ahead and put your clamps on and tighten them up. Now I'm going to try to show you here. I split a little short piece of hose. I don't know if you can see, but there's yeah, you can see it right there. I put a sleeve on that hose so it doesn't rub and wear a hole in it where it goes through the plastic, and I put a couple zip ties on it to, you know, keep it from rubbing or causing any problems. Now on this side, I'm going to show you this radiator hose and hose barb. There it is, and I also put a piece of hose on this original hose and zip tied it just to keep it from rubbing. Went ahead and zip tied it to the frame to keep it stable. You'll have some hose left over, so anywhere you think you need to put a sleeve on it to keep it from rubbing, just put a sleeve on it. You'll have enough zip ties and hose left to do that. Now when you get ready to mount the kit down to the front rack, be aware that these tubes are metric size tubes, and I use standard hardware with the kits just because it's easier to deal with, it's easier to find. Some of the metric stuff is really hard to find hardware for. So where I'm going with this is, this U-bolt is going to be a little small for this tube. Now it's not much. You'll have to spread these U-bolts just a teeny bit, slip them up on the tube, take the channel locks and squeeze them back, and you can, once you get that done, you can use one of these top plates to check that U-bolt, make sure it's squeezed together, you know, enough to fit, and then set with the kit sitting on there, feed them up through there and put the top plate on and bolt it down, and it makes for a real solid, sturdy mount on the front rack. Well, I guess that's about all of the tips I can give you for the installation. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. You can call me at this number here, 870-941-2265. You can shoot me an email at sscustomatv@gmail.com. And don't hesitate to call if you're having problems. My shop is a metal building, and you know, metal buildings are force fields to cell phones, so if I don't answer, just leave me a brief message and I'll give you a call back as soon as I can. I sell the kits right now on eBay, and I do a few ads on Craigslist. I don't have a website at this time. I stay really busy, and I really hadn't had time to fool with it. I'll be looking into getting one here soon. Like I said, you can get them on eBay, or you can call me direct, and really I wish that's what you would do, is give me a call direct. eBay's fees are so high, man, they're killing me, but they are a good venue. So if you can give me a call direct, I can take your credit cards and debit cards securely over the phone, and dealing with me direct, you know, I'll make sure your kit gets shipped out that day or the following day. So I'll take care of you and give you some good service. Before I get off here, I'll just let you know I build kits for other four-wheelers. I build them for the 13 and down Honda Rancher and the Honda Foreman. I build them for the 700 Grizzly 13 and down. I'll be working on that 14 kit for the Grizzly next. I build them for the 660 Yamaha Grizzly, and I build them for the, I believe it's 5 through 11 Brute Force. Going to be working on the newer Brute Force next also. Anyhow, thanks for watching the video. If you bought my radiator kit, I appreciate it. And if you're thinking about buying one, just give me a call. Y'all take care, and thanks for watching.